I know that a lot of the things that you have discussed was more of decision making and how you take those decisions and make life, better choices or better life choices. What is the one thing when that you would say? What is the process when do you normally take personally before you make any decision in your life? What are the things that you consider first before taking any decision? Welcome to another amazing episode of the Uphill Podcast. Uphillers, welcome back. It's been another extraordinary journey. We are here on another fifth episode. I'm super excited, a bit nervous than usual, but I am excited. We have uncontrollable superhuman right now on the podcast with us. He's a friend of mine. I recently just started, having a relationship with him of some sort, and I'm super grateful that he's here. We tried by all means to actually have him here today, and he's finally here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to introduce the guest. He'll introduce himself, Mr. Mzwee Kana. How are
Uh,
you, sir?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. Thank you for honoring our invitation. I know it's a bit rowdy. I know it's a bit, how can I say it? Everything is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with nerves, it's a good thing. It's a good sign. That we want to do things right.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, thank you for honoring the invitation. Can you just kindly just introduce yourself, where you from, who you are, what are you about, and just be able to get to know you a little bit better. You know, yeah,
Yeah, thank you once again for the invite.
yeah.
Thank you for having me. I don't take it light, this opportunity. Yeah, igama lam ndingumziwe Themba. My surname is Kana. Ndibizwa ngomzwe. Um, I was born and raised in Cape Town, in Guguletu. Yeah, that's where ndikhulele khona eGuguletu. Then somehow I moved to Delft. Yeah, for from 2007 and then back to Guguletu again now. Yeah, I'm currently working. I just qualified as a fitter and turner. So yeah,
That's okay. First of all, igama lakho and you haven't because I've been pronouncing your name as Mzwee.
yeah,
Not a, oh my god,
Mzwee.
no.
And when it comes to my name, people they struggling to pronounce my name. Like Umziwetem, I remember there was this one instant done say a bank. And then this lady, Oti Ngcela i-ID yakho. I had a problem with the issue account yam. And then I gave this lady my ID. It was like, Mziwetem, igama lingaka, umncinci kangaka.
No,
I'm
man.
always people they be like, Mzwee Themba, why uzoba ngumzwee Themba? And at work, like my bosses, ever since ndaphangela ukhona bezwa ngefana.
I mean, ngobe ngithumele email, I saw actually a piece of igama lakho phana, but I was kind of unsure. But I saw a snippet of it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I was like, still, I can't really put Mzwee Temba together and you together because I only knew you by your half name.
Yeah.
So Mzwee, not Mzwee.
Mzwee,
Oh
yeah.
my, I feel so bad.
It's cool.
No, thank you for being here again. Like I said, it's really good that you're here. Um, like I said, being nervous is for me. It's a good sign, man, because I don't know how to actually control. When I have a plan or have the way that I want things to go,
Yeah.
right? I kind of see the impact towards it. I see the end goal, and I put like so much pressure on myself to actually meet the standard. So that's where the nerves kind of kick in. But I'm happy that you're here. Um, I don't know where to start when it comes to this conversation because there's a lot of things that I want to unpack. And I remember when we had our first sit down, a lot of things came through,
Yeah.
and one of those things was expectations and people just seeing you from afar and then by thinking about everything as well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and those are the one of the few things that Tina, as humans and as abantu, we just kind of sigqiba umntu by what they choose to showcase on social media. I was very surprised when you told me about your story, your family background, what happened in your prime, while you're still in your prime, and obviously go with the type of environments that you choose to surround yourself in. Can you just give us a little background in regards to what is it that wena usuka kuyo, and what is it that actually made you to decide to actually be the person that you are namhlanje, and the people, and sorry, not the people, but the person that people know you as ngoku. Take us back to that one decision, or how did that decision come about to actually be the Mzwee that everybody knows and loves right now?
Um, I grew up in a not in a family where like I'm fortunate, like the kule dinner struggles, if I may put it, the kule and the sokola, yeah. Um, beningafumani yonke into,
Yeah.
yeah. But people when they look at you, they were like, ah, suka wena ukhule kamnandi, uyabonakala. I'm like, you don't know the things that I've been through.
Yeah.
I know ulala utye ipapa ne uphunge neti,
And be okay.
and then you are using a tea bag that ibishiyekile mhlawumbe ubuphunga ngaye emini, and then uyifake ekhabhathini, and then uzophinda uphunga yona the same tea bag. Ndikhule kwikhaya like kwi-environment enjalo. Like ndisokola ndikhule nabazali bam boyi-two, right? And then 2007 they separated, and then I had to go with my mom, ndiyohlala nomama with my two siblings. So I'm the firstborn ekhaya. So yeah, we moved to Delft with my mom. So ndiqhele uhlala notata mos, kubekho tata was there providing and blah blah blah. So now I'm with my mom. So somewhere somehow it changes zezakhona. Yabo empilweni bangoku umama uyedwa and umama akaphangeli, single parent, sibathathu, so but kuyo yonke loo nto, like even at school bendi like ubone abantu banemali zokhera esikolweni, about R2 whatever money you have. So mna bendisiya esikolweni ndingenamali yokhera,
Yeah.
and I was okay with that, but I accepted a situation yam ikhaya lam uba ndisuka phi. Like I'm one person, like I would hear abantu uba if you don't buy me ikhavela ndizozibulala, threatenisha umzali wakhe, into ezinjalo. But mna kwicase yam like ndikhule ndiyamkela, I accepted imeko endikuyo, imeko yasekhaya. So I would go esikolweni anamalokhera and kwifitas esikolweni ke, yeah. So bendisithi ifitas ndiyofola phaa eline, and I was never ashamed, yabo. So the only time I would carry like imali esikolweni xa kusandopheya igrant, yabo. That's the only time uba ndifumana imali kulaa veki uba bekusandopheya igrant, i-R2. I-R2 like it was ibinintsi kakhulu,
back in
and
the day,
ndivuye ndiyazi uba okay ndizasithenga le biscuit and what, yabo. So andikhulanga kumnandi like ndifumana yonke into, like people when they see me now on social media mhlawumbi ndiyaposta and what ingathi like yonke into ibe smooth
Yeah.
kum, like yeah. So I think that's one thing that made me to be the person that I am today, yabo. And uqala kwam like I went ndafunda until matric, but I failed matric, yabo. Ufeyila kwami matric, I lied to my dad that I didn't pass it because I was trying to please him, yabo. And
But then how did that come about? I mean, uxolile kutatakho in regards to you passing matric. Was your dad still around at the time?
No, 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 no. I
So
was
they were
with my
already
mom.
separated.
Yeah, they were already separated. But ke ngoku, like we would communicate via phone, or sometimes I would visit him.
Yeah.
Yabo. So and ngumntu ke besithanda isikolo. Like always ask unjani esikolweni, uqhuba njani esikolweni. Yabo ngumntu obesoloko exelela uba funeka ufunde.
Yeah.
Yabo, you must, like, in order for to
So
be.
so how long did you carry the lie for? How long were you able to actually put up with the lie that you passed the matric? Because I mean, if you say you passed matric, I mean, what are the results?
Okay. The thing is that in the ndipasile,
Yeah.
all right, and then ndadibana naye ngoJane after
Yeah.
kusandaphuma results, and then uyandibuza uba ziphi result ndithi ndipase ngodi, so uh, abani-acceptanga CPUT for engineering, so I need to upgrade my studies. I say okay, but i-results ndizinike omnye ubhuti one-connection nabantu abaphaa i-CPUT, so i-results zam zikuye. So I had to lie. Yeah, I had to lie. And they're like, oh, okay. So after I think 2 or 3 days, I found him, but it didn't work out. But is low math and physics, so I need to upgrade. And then yeah, I went to St. Francis, so the upgrade about
So basically, you never saw your results
never.
till date.
Yeah, even now. One doesn't do asymmetric. So I went to St. Francis, Dayopalisa. I told him, ufuna imali registration. Okay, fine. One patalela, like patala every month must pay at that time. I failed again, math and physics.
Oh my god. But then go now, man. I feel like didn't you learn from your mistakes? I mean, obviously you failed the matric, and then ngoku you're giving yourself another second chance to do better, and
Yeah.
then you also do the same thing.
Yeah. I think, man, at the time, Bendi bengekho serious, and I don't know, or I was not giving my all to his studies. I would put it that way. I was not giving my all, because after I failed again in math and physics, ndathi kuye ndipasile, and then I went to a Northlink College to do his studies, the engineering, because that's what my dad wanted me to do, engineering, nothing else. So I wanted to please him.
Can I ask you a question? Did his departure or his decision, when he actually decided, you know what, I'm actually going to divorce my wife, did his decision maybe play a role in that pleasing of Tatako? Kanye, you just wanted to please him, kakade, generally something that you've wanted or you used to have in pleasing Tatako. Did his decision maybe influence you in any way?
Not really, not at all. It's just that um, when we are having conversation, and he will be like, no, we have to do engineering in Mali, and he will come with the facts zoba intontoni nentontoni banintsi abantu abahleli benze intontoni kunzima ufumana umsebenzi, but once you do engineering, there are a lot of opportunities out there. And ke ngoku you go back to esikolweni otishala, they will say the same thing, but when it comes to math and physics, zininzi opportunities kuze nabantu like with career exposure and what.
So it was purely based on just career moves.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, but it makes sense. Lenda ithethayo. So yeah, and then yeah, I went to the Northlink for studies. I had, but there's this fitting and turning. I didn't even know, but in the engineering packet. So I was like, okay, makendiye mandiova ndiyorejistarisha nyhani. I went to a Northlink Wingfield campus ndarejistarisha, ndabuya kuye sendisithi ndi-acceptiwe Northlink to do engineering studies. I knew that uzawuba happy uba if now I'm gonna
Because
do
you're
it.
finally doing what he
Yeah.
that he wanted.
Yeah. So I've been living with that lie yoba I passed matric and ke ngoku xa ndifike eNorthlink and I was like, this is the only chance I have. If I messed up here, I'm going to
Uzoqala ngapi, because now you've been trying to cover this.
yeah. So I'm like, if now I fail here,
Yeah.
I don't take this serious, then ndiyahamba ndiya ka-Shoprite. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but yeah, that's not what I want about my life. I want I want to I want
You want success. I mean,
Yeah.
there's different types of successes, and success is subjective. And I get that. Like you said, Ngogo, there's nothing wrong, obviously, with being a cashier or anything like that. But it comes with you having a plan for your life.
yeah.
It comes from you, wanting to be, someone out there, and who's someone who's very, like, who's going to be important, not only for, when it comes to yourself personally, but obviously for your family. Yako. You mentioned something about pleasing, and I'm at the age whereby now I'm honestly, I have things that I've not really have sat down with my parents and actually, spoke with them concerning my life. And it's a very sensitive topic,
Yeah.
amongst other things, of course, as in this generation that we are. Um, please, Abazali, I don't think it's spoken of enough, because with parents' expectations of their children, it comes with the pressure, and the fact that when you thought that it was much easier for you to actually lie to your father and tell him that you passed because you wanted actually to make him proud, not only as the first son but generally just wanted to make your father happy. And abantu abaninzi ke, we have father figures, and we don't even have relationships with abazali bethu, most of us. So the fact that you spoke on pleasing, that you wanted to please him, and one of the decisions that you've taken in your life was because you wanted to please him, but at the same time, iphele ikusebenzele in your own
Yes.
good. Now, I understand, Mzwee, that after you took that decision to actually further your studies, now you're also doing engineering right now, right? Full time. My question is, how do you get to a point of making a decision generally in your life whereby you feel comfortable, right? I would understand that you grew up not really in a family whereby everything was there for you.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned that Tatak was not really there. He was there, but obviously, the separation from your mom has nothing to do with you, right? As the eldest son and taking care of your family, how does that decision affect you, Ngoku? Like, and by that I mean everything that you have right now is because of your family, right? How do you actually take yourself back for a minute and whatever that I'm doing is for my family? Does that ever get to you in terms of maybe Sambi, if I could just take a step back, bangathini bona? So everything that you are currently doing right now is for them, right? So if you took the decision to take a step back, how would that affect you, go now your family, your main family, you are the sole breadwinner of your family, I believe. If you took a step back, how would that literally affect your family? Umama uyapangela?
No.
No. Okay. So how would that affect your family generally?
Whatever plan endiyenzayo about my life, concerning my life, I always consider
Yeah.
my family, because now I'm the breadwinner, like you said. I'm the breadwinner. Ujongwe kum ekhaya. So I'm like what I'm always in everything that I do, like ndibeka bona empilweni yam. Like for an example, when I started the apprenticeship, yeah, fitting and turning.
Yeah.
I was earning 6.5. And with that 6.5, I went to Katoyod, Diofunimot. Luckily, I got the car with the pay slip 99 because to have a car, you don't have to pay a 40,000,
Yeah.
50,000. So I did undoyoba ndiyofuna imoto so that I could take care of my family. So what was on my mind? It was to do a business, to do Uber business. So, and people were like, yo, unemali Mzwee, uthenga imoto. No, and you know people when you uthenga
Yeah.
imoto, they've got that mindset yoba unemali. So I did that to take care of my family.
Yeah.
You see, so I started the business your Uber while I'm working. I would go to work. After work, ndibe busy Uber. On weekends, I'm not available. I'm working. I'm doing Uber business. So somehow I believe it pushed me into yoba ndibe yi-breadwinner ekhaya uba ndingabi comfortable or yeah ndingabi comfortable apho ndikhoyo to push for more. And yeah, so if now I had to step back, yabo, ekhaya, then as me providing ekhaya, as me taking care of my siblings, you would make sure bayanxiba, make sure that my brother goes to school, I'm transporting him, I'm giving him imali ye-lunch esikolweni. You see, so now zonke za roles ndidlalayo then kuzaba bad.
Do you think you constantly work? I mean, I get the fact that you're working to obviously provide for the family. I get that. But do you think you constantly having, because I remember when you sat down on the Saturday, you said that awuthandi ungabi namali,
Yeah.
right? Awuthandi ungabi namali because it kind of ahlali kahle. And I remember asking you, Bana, does it actually come back in a sense of a trauma, maybe something that you've experienced growing up? Uqhele, okay, ukutya, eat cornflakes and everything that you've wanted when your father was there. And then the next thing is tataka akekho. Now you constantly working two jobs, Uber, and you're also working full time. Does it come from a place of I don't want to experience what I went through, or I don't want to feel like feeling bendinayo, whereas I was actually forced to make means? Is it also coming from that? Apart from just obviously pila and having
Yeah.
a stable source of income, but do you think it's linked to maybe trauma of your dad not just being there and you avoiding to feel that feeling of poverty?
Um, I don't wanna lie. I hate poverty with passion. I hate like I said the last time we were together. I hate ungabi namali. I hate to be broke. So indlela engikhule ngayo, yabo, that yeah, the trauma that ebendikuyo. So I don't want to experience that again. That is why I'm pushing, like I'm really pushing. Like I'll go to work and then I'm always thinking of businesses, how to make more streams of income because I don't want to go back upon the sugar corner like the indlala le experience leyo. So yeah.
No, I kind of, the only reason why I'm asking the question that I just asked is because abantu abaninzi, we actually sometimes we do things not realizing that we're actually doing it subconsciously to overcome some sort of trauma or some sort of setback that we experienced. For example, right now in my life, I'm at a point whereby I kind of need some sort of affection and intimacy of some sort. Yeah, bro. And not now sexual intimacy. I'm just talking about just having someone, who's going to be constantly have you there to support you.
Okay.
I'm at a point in my life whereby if andifumane into endifunayo in regards to support that I think will actually compel me and upskill me and actually motivate me to carry on with whatever that I want in life, can be the podcast, can be my books, can be anything that I want to do in life. I think I've experienced what is called or having a lot of setbacks with Abantu in particular, right? And I do a lot of things ngoku to actually overcome or to cover the trauma of trusting people,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
overbearing Abantu, of overcompensating for people's absence, and just actually giving Abantu pieces of myself that they don't really deserve. And I find myself doing this in Jalo to overcompensate and to consciously cover up for that. So that is why I was asking you, Ngoku, that you constantly working. Is it because you just want to cover up for that trauma that you've experienced? And the way that you've placed it is quite, it's quite understandable. Understand? So I don't know if it is linking, but now honestly, I think it was actually something that I went through, and which is I don't want to carry on experiencing. So right now you're in a position of a source of income, right? You're stable in your life. Do you think that now, in comparison with your life back then, in comparison Goku, right? If you were to make any decisions or any changes, or what decision would you think you would make differently, having what you have Ngoku, or having the kind of mindset that you have Ngoku? Is there anything that you could have changed differently from the decisions that you've taken so far in your life to get you where you are right now? Anything completely different? Any regrets? Any decision that you think maybe Slami could have sent you completely different? Could be umsebenzi wakho, could be iskolo. Is there anything that you think could have set your life in a completely different direction? Let's say if you pass the matric. If you actually pass the matric, what you gonna actually do after that?
Um, I always wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So yeah, I even told my dad that I want to be a teacher, and then that's where zangasanga sivane khona. But no, you can't be a teacher. Um, and wabe city, but if you are gonna do teaching, then you are on your own. Yeah, bo. Like I'm not gonna be there to support you, like if he's and what. So that's where I was like, hey, let me do what my father wants,
Yeah.
which is engineering. So I think if I passed matric, uh, I wouldn't be in this field ngoku. Yeah, engineering,
Yeah.
because yeah.
And obviously, Ngoku, with you working two jobs, do you ever feel like you like self neglect yourself? Like self neglecting ungazo you in mentally, physically, because you're just constantly working all the time. Do you ever feel like you when now you're also
Yeah, because I'm always busy.
But that's not a good thing though.
No, I'm always busy. Even my friend Uloyiso, uzosoloke ndishaya uba Mzwee, you are young, you are very young, you need time to enjoy, to go out and enjoy yourself. This thing of you always working, um, Uber all the time. You go to work and then on weekends you're doing Uber. It's not healthy. I remember Ben shouter bekunini, it was last weekend. Uba jonga ngoku, like uhlile nasemzimbeni because when now you overwork, you're always working. No Choni.
I'm kind of surprised that you guys are so close because group every single person is actually within doing grades separately. So I find it like very surprising that you guys still have the time to actually make it for to support one another and
Yeah.
and be there for one another. It's actually something that is very I would say it very inspirational because abantu abaninzi they don't have time, right?
Yeah.
Oloiso with his music, Ukwala with her music, and each and every other person with their own field.
Yeah.
How do you guys constantly make time for each other? Like, how do you keep intact Galahrom?
I think, man, it's maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are matured. Just because we're friends, we don't have to but singokole every day, to text each other every day on WhatsApp. Hi Chom, how are you? No, 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 no. How's your day going? Like we will like situle for some time. We busy, sibadala, you know. Abantu be busy, like you said, they're busy with their careers.
Yeah.
Now I'm busy with my own career. But xa siphinde sidibene iba ngathi like bengekho la gap yoba besikhe sabonana, and yeah, we keep it that way, and we love one another. We like family, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet? Specifically with Luisa, you know. Funny enough, with him is we know each other for a very long time, but we never really had a chance to sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like a show that we sat down to this other Saturday on Saturday, so we never really got to sit down. I've been texting him by like when you're free, we should actually get along and make time, but he's never free.
Yeah.
He's never free. So how did you actually convince Uluiso to actually not convince him, but how did it happen, man? I'm just trying to get to the meeting up part. How did your friendship develop over these years?
It was 2021
Yeah.
around May. Yeah, 2021 around May. I went to a gospel show ka Kingsley. Yeah, it's Kwalanga, Langa Baptist Church. Aningomntu ke ofana attend gospel
Concerts,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm always busy.
Yeah.
So I'm like weekend, Saturday. That's the time I'm making money, because wonke umuntu going out and what. So xa ndizobe ndise kwi-concert, yabo, I'm losing money. But I don't know. But something told me ba mandiye ndiyobukela ishow kaKingsley. So I went to Kalanga ndiyobukela ishow, ndandihamba ndedwa.
Uh-huh.
Okay. After the show, lanto kuyabuliswana. So Uloyiso, I've known him noxola through his social media on Facebook. I always like whatever was
So
posted.
you never knew like Galaklesh?
No,
You
no.
guys never knew each other.
No.
Okay.
So we're just friends on Facebook. So after ishow ndihamba ndiyobulisa. Yabona, like kuyabuliswana. Ndiyobulisa Uloyiso. Uloyiso ke unothando. Like nangoku ndiyombulisa, like ingathi siyazana
Kudala
before,
mazi,
sasike
yeah.
sadibana. Hi, all right. No, I'm good too. Thank you. So yeah, after that azothi abombulisela uxola. Ndiqamba uxola. Kaloku uxola is there. No, hamba umbulisa. Isa ubufotile naye. Okay, ndimnike phone unfold noxola. I still have the first picture, like ndiqala kwam like udibana nabo. And then ndibuza uLoyisa uba uhamba ngantoni? Azothi ndihamba ndirequestile. Yabo. Okay. Ndi-offerishe i-lift.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. The offerishe lift. Really? That's so sweet. Yeah, okay, siyambeni sonke. So if friendship yethu yaqala that night, that day, till now.
Till now.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, please? Because obviously, like I said, you guys are together 90% of the time. Well, not 90% of the time when you guys need each other. And we live in a time whereby, and we spoke about this actually with our previous guest, and she stated Rasamonelan as abantu bamnyama in general, or as people in general. We don't really want to see other people happy if maybe I'm not well off. And I can imagine all three of you guys are actually in music. You guys, you musicians separately. You basically are in the same field. How do you balance the success of your friends? And I remember asking you this, and you specifically stated something very important, but I just want you to reiterate that. There's no comparison between you guys, right? As many people would think.
Yeah.
there's they ayikho laa nto bana just because someone is having more recognition, I'm gonna put myself down. How do you guys balance off that, of each other's successes? Nasulelana, does it play a huge impact? Does it help to grow a friendship, or does it kinda iba khona stagnation ethile when someone has a gig? Because Loyiso Sanda ngoku just received a huge deal with Takindo
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
his
yeah.
live recording. So that was very huge for him because obviously that's a breakthrough.
Yeah.
But coming back to you, how does their success impact you? Sorry.
Um, I believe success yechomi yam, it's my success. If ichomi yam there's a door that has been opened for yena to a certain area, so there are more chances banam ndingangena kulo mnyango. So one thing about us, we celebrate one another. We we have become a family. It's not just being friends, it's more than friends. Like we see family. So if someone ufumene something, we celebrate small things. I remember, I think it was last year, uxola ebaptiziwe ecaweni. Like omnye umuntu uzothetha uba ayisuka umbhaptizo wecawe.
Yeah.
But do you know that we had to gather siyocelebrata kubrayo kwenziwe ntoni
Yeah.
for uba uxola ebaptiziwe. Like those small things. Yabo, even when it comes to music, we always post if kumnyango ovulekileyo kuzoba uzocula somewhere. Siyaposta on Facebook, on WhatsApp, tag yabo, like we support one another. We feel happy omnye umntu xa efumene that opportunity to do something or to obtain anything great in life. Yeah.
No, I'm really happy that you guys actually have a close bond, because honestly, Mzwee, yazi friendships ngoku umntu like ungagqibela uthetha nomntu like 2 months, 4 months, 5 months, and there can be a little bit of a break or like there shouldn't be any imvisiswano between them, right? And I think with friendships, it is not a matter of bana how many times that you guys meet up. It's not about if you guys are constantly there physically, but the matter of the fact that if nkwazi supportana in the most difficult times, then I think that is what friendship is. It actually does speaks volume that you guys are so close and have such a busy schedule separately and still be able to find the time to come back and just celebrate one another. That's something that is very hard to find.
Yeah, kwezinsuku. And I'm really grateful
Yeah.
to God, like for the friends and nazo, like my circle, because they are such amazing people.
I know that we're about to end off, ne? But there is something that I actually did want you to touch on. I know you mentioned, but your life is not always what people deem to think. To like when I go social media is not always what they think. I know you also mentioned that when there's a tool, right? You have 2 cars, and I think I'm going with this. How did you actually end up getting 2 cars instead of Corolla le mhlophe? Can you just give us a little background to actually why Iklameko ukuyo ngoku and how it actually got there to that position of you having 2 cars, you working 2 jobs. I know you've mentioned the reason behind that, but I remember when you mentioned that you actually your apartment caught fire, right? Can you just tell us something about that?
Um, like I've been through a lot, and ezinye izinto like I don't post them on social media. But yeah, when people they look at me on social media, they'll be like, oh, yo, this guy is living the life, or he has a lot of money, or what. I remember, I think it was 2021. Yeah, 2021, around June. Iflat yam yacha, and I lost everything. I mean everything, furniture, clothes, and like it was around 2 a.m. ndiyochama ndiphuma erumini yam, so it's like sort of like i-flat ne we sharing i-bathroom nekitchen. So yeah, but we live in separate rooms. Okay, so ndiyaphuma ndiyochama around 2 a.m. and I don't normally wake up ekuseni about that time ndithi ndiyochama, but it happened uba ndihambe ndiyochama. Xa ndibuya ndivule erumini yam, there's fire on the bed. And ndaqala ke ngoku uba heyi kwenzeka ntoni, ndihambe ndiyokha amanzi ndibaleke ndijive. The more ndicima, the more umlilo siye bamkhulu, and ndiye ndiba suffocated. And then that's where I cried for help. Yabo ndivusa abantu abaclose so that banga-affecteki ngulo mlilo, bakwazi uphuma, bangavaleleki. Yabo bafika abantu, bafika bahlale kuzama ucinywa, umlilo akacimi. Uya esiba mkhulu umlilo endaweni yoba acime.
Yeah.
So that's how ndaphuma ngejini neskipa endandisinxibile ndihamba ngeenyawo. Everything yatshela phaa. So, and that same night, uba nditshelwa the morning ku-2 a.m., I got a car accident. Ndihamba kwanoloyiso. I was on my way.
Being a pile ibhaki
No, the white one,
Okay.
the Corolla. Ndifumana accident, ndiyatshayiswa. I was on my way to drop uloyiso and then nam ndizogoduka. Ndatshayiswa, like ndiyazihambela endleleni, and then this guy decided uba ajike angene kum. I tried to swing uba ndimphepha, sekundilate. And then the morning kwenzeka le nto uba nditshelwa endlini.
But then, Yazi, when I feel like you've gained through your losses, man. I don't know, but everything that you've lost, I feel like you've gained something way more powerful and way more authentic than I think what you've ever could have imagined. Because through this very bad situation that you've actually explained in Ngoku, you have not only made lifelong friends, you've also managed to actually pick yourself up in such a way that is very surprising. I feel like if anyone went through that situation, would lahlekelwa zizinto in one night, you also have an accident, seemingly the night before. That is something that a lot of people can't actually think or can actually overcome in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
That you could have easily got into depression. Easily could have tried to, I don't know, just have your setbacks as needs.
Yeah.
But then you gained, and that's the thing. You decided to actually, I'm not gonna take my situation as is. I'm gonna take a decision, and obviously, I would imagine the decision that you've took at that time when you saw everything burn, crash down, umsebenzi wakho, it wasn't easy, obviously, but I feel like you decided right then and there that I'm not gonna take this as a setback, but I'm gonna actually take it as as a footstool to make my life even more than what I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Well, so Zeman, I love the fact that abantu bafana nawe are actually also making a point that it's not what you see and it's not what you think you know about me that is always the case. I'm sure a lot of people do not know
Yeah.
with the car, with the fire and everything. It's really, really not easy to come back from that. It's really, really not easy. I know that a lot of the things that you have discussed is more of decision making and how you take those decisions and make life, better choices or better life choices. As we're about to close off, what is the one thing when that you would say? What is the process when do you normally take personally before you make any decision in your life? What are the things that you consider first before taking any decision?
Um, I I grew up in church. Um, I'm a born again Christian. So whenever I take decisions, I consider my identity, which is God, my Christianity. So I'm always reflecting or referring myself to God, to the Word of God,
Yeah.
because that's who we are. We are made of the Word. So everything decision that I make, I consider first God. Yeah.
So every decision that you've taken so far, um, yep, when it comes to decisions and then you tell you, as much as you do consult God, you do get to a time whereby uThixo engakuva kwa ukuva naxa uthethayo, you know. But I would believe that even though you feel like a condenser guy, you still take the
It's still
decision to trust
yes.
God. And when I feel like that's something that you are about, you take decisions knowing and trusting God that will actually take you the decision you to you and actually make something out of it. Now personally, decisions are hard to make. Generally,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
decisions are hard to make. Whether you want to better your life, whereby you want to actually decide which meal you want to eat. Namhlanje, it's hard, right? And I feel like also not knowing who you are also makes it 10 times worse, because not only are you dealing with I don't know who I am, but you're also dealing with, if I take the decision, will it actually compel me or actually make me see the person or the vision or the possible person that I could become. And when you are self-aware, you know yourself. I love that you also you don't shy away from speaking your truth, right? If umdiabuza, you'll tell them straight, Baba Mela, no,
Yeah.
that's not the case. And I don't want you to about my life. And I just wanted about just to get that understanding. But decisions are hard. Decisions are hard to make. And you guys, we are about to close off. And obviously, before we do close off, we do ask one question. That is something that we always ask our guests. Do you think, considering the decisions that you've taken right now in your life, where you are currently, do you think that you've actually reached your uphill as of yet? Do you think that the success that you want for your life, do you think that you have received it, or so now or you're working towards that success?
I'm working towards it. I believe success, to me, success is not about um, driving a Range Rover, living in a mansion. Um, to me, success is impacting the people who are around me
Yeah.
to think like me. I will make an example. I have a friend of mine, Umavi. We were going to church together. Um, I impacted him in doing the business. So after I was doing the Uber thingy, and then somewhere, somehow, I managed to impact him to do the same thing. And then now the guy is flourishing. Every time I'm like, I'm proud of him because he left his job to do Uber full time. He's making money.
Yeah.
He's living in one of the suburb area. He's taking his son to private school.
Yeah.
You see, so I'm like, I'm proud.
Yeah.
And another guy, my ex-colleague, he also now he's got 2 cars. I'm the one who impacted him to start the business. Now his life is moving forward. You see, so to me, success is to make people around me to think like me, to impact them in a positive way. So that's why even when you go through my social on Facebook, I always write things like to impact people. You never know. I remember, I think it was last week, I wrote something on my WhatsApp, and then a friend of mine, Umveli, she sent a text. Yo, Chomi, thank you for these words. I really needed to hear this. You know, it might be a small thing to you, but you never know.
What it can do to
To other
to
people.
other people.
You write
Yeah.
something about don't focus on your future. We all do mistakes. Move forward. There's a brighter future. And then someone is reading that message. That person maybe was thinking of committing suicide. But now, since ebone laa nto uyibhalileyo phaa, and then I decide, but no man, there's still hope for me. There's still a brighter future. Just because bakwenzeka ABCs or
Doesn't
it's
mean
not the end of the
exactly.
world. I can bounce back.
Exactly.
You see, so to me, success is to make people around me to think like me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, thank you so much, Mzwee, for actually honoring our invitation. This has actually been one of those episodes whereby you think a lot, man, and you know you actually also contemplate and you and you're trying to process it. And what I received from this encounter is that not only do we have to make necessary decisions in our lives to actually be where we need to be, but also being impactful, surrounding abantu now, it doesn't mean that you have to constantly overbear yourself or give us a part of yourself that you don't necessarily have. Lenduna, you're just motivating other people. It doesn't take much of your time, but it helps a great deal to another person. And that is the type of people that I pray and I hope that I will always surround myself with. It's not easy constantly having to make life decisions, constantly having to actually think back and question yourself and doubt yourself, and and think to yourself, if I make this decision, will it be a life-changing decision or it actually set me back? Guys, take the risk to make the decisions that you need to take in life, whatever process that you need to follow through. um, every single person that is here right now, it was not easy being here today. It was not easy, but then we took a decision to be here. We took a decision because we do know what we want in life. We do know why we are doing this podcast. And that is something that I pray and hope that every other person will actually have to make the necessary decisions to push you where you need to be in life. This has been another extraordinary episode. I cannot emphasize that enough. I'm actually also in my fields right now. I even took off my glasses, but thank you so much. I can't emphasize that enough. Now, Aphiles, thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe, please view, and we can't wait to actually do this with you again. I'm your host, Kumani, and I am out. Before we go out, where can we actually get you?
On Facebook, I am Mzwee Kana, and on Instagram, TikTok, Mzwee Kana. Yeah.
Yeah, so Aphiles, you got that. Thank you so much. Until next time, your boy is out. Thank you. Out.